Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to stop by and visit and check out my video. And we're here at Kyalami, and I had a request for an updated setup for the Audi here, Audi EVO. So I worked on the setup, and I ran pretty much basically this as fast as I did with the before the update. Had to do a lot of adjustments to get it to be stable and driver friendly, but it's good. And like I said, it's running decent. And of course, I have a lot of fuel. I started with 80 liters, so I mean it's a lot of fuel on board. So let's get started. Make a lap. Good speed. And it's on par with everything else. Very good through there. A little bit understeery, but I mean, it's one of those turns where you just got to deal with it. Because if you get the car perfect and and turn it really good, then as the tires wear later on, it'll end up looping on you. I've had that happen to me before. That was actually in a Lamborghini. But yeah, so you got to, maybe a little, you want to keep it minimal, but you definitely want a little bit of understeer through that fast right-hander there. Again, it's a balance, just trying to get it to, be satisfactory in everywhere. Maybe, again, you give up maybe a little here to gain somewhere here. That's like any place. Very good on the brakes. And coming off the corners, really good coming off the corners. And that was my fast lap at a 142.51. So again, I'm happy with that much fuel on board. So you can definitely, if you cut the fuel way down, I mean you'd be running in the lower 42s, especially if it was at night or just real cool. It's like 25 degrees now. So again, I think that's decent. It's decent for me anyway. Let's go check out the setup. I got 25.5 on the front tires, 26 on the left rear, and 25.8 on the right rear. The toe on the front is a negative 0.15, with the camber at negative 3.7 and the caster at 12.6. The toe on the rear is 0.1, with the camber at negative 3.1. I tried a lot of, which I'm going to be trying every time I do setups now to see if there's anything to gain anywhere. I did try a lot of the different toe setups. I actually did the same thing I did with the Porsche and at Suzuka here, but it didn't work. It definitely didn't feel as stable. Back end was kind of sliding around places, so it didn't work. So again, some cars it might work, some other ones it won't. But I'm going to be trying a lot of different things like that, new things to see if I can gain anything, any kind of stability or performance with it. So again, I tried some of the negative toe, which again, it gives you a little bit more turn in, which you definitely need here with all these corners, real fast, medium fast corners. But you definitely need a lot of turn in here. It's basically just a turn and go. So that's why I run a little bit extra toe. It didn't seem to hurt anything as far as speed or anything else. So electronics, I ran 3 and 4. Now I did go down to 2, and I guess if the tires were really fresh, maybe you can get away with it. It's not like you're going to wreck, but in certain places, the car, I think I lost a little bit more time than I would have gained. So, I mean, I think, it's just easier to slip here, slip there, and lose a little bit of time. But it's on your discretion. But I did try it at 2. course, fuel, like I said, I had 80 liters. You got some moderate tire graining, and the tire wear is about normal. Again, it just depends on what you got. You got light graining here, and tire wear is even better on this one. So again, it just depends on how hard you're pushing and things like that. Those are some of the things I was doing earlier. Sometimes I slid off. So again, that's why you're gonna have some, basically sliding off. You're gonna have some damage to the tires. Mechanical, got 2 on the anti-roll bar, 54 on the brake bias. Steering ratios all the way down. Springs in the front are 174,000 with a bump stop rate of 900 and a bump stop range of 10. And on the rear, the springs are 163,000 with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 28. Anti-roll bar is 2 on the rear with the 80 on the preload. Shocks for the front, I have 16, 10, 15, and 12. And on the rear, they're 14, 8, 15, and 10. And again, to get them pretty close, I use Motec to dial in the shocks and stuff. Aero, got 55 on the front, 60 in the rear with a 4 rear wing and a 4 and a 4, and the brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a negative 2.6. Now, there's a couple things that you might want to try. Wing-wise, for qualifying, you could probably go down to 3 if you want to and see if you can get away with it. It's a little on the hairy side, but, it depends. Again, I'm looking at really good track conditions, so I wouldn't even try it if the track conditions are not, really good as far as temperature and optimum. Also, with the ride height, you might want to try going up to 61, as it just gives it a little bit more rotation. It's kind of like certain places I like it better like this, and certain places I like it better with the 61. So it just all depends on what you like as far as the rotation of the car and how much you trail brake and things like that. Now at 60, see, it goes up 1 here and 1 there. So again, that's not real bad. You can see the front aero variation. I don't even think even changed. No, so it's balanced out pretty good. So again, it's not a real big deal. It basically just goes up 1 each when you get low on fuel. So that's not bad at all. But you might want to go up 1 more just to get it to rotate a little bit more, and it would help the front tires a little bit as far as as far as turning, instead of basically dragging them across, especially later on, and having to use the brakes in the rear for brake bias to help rotate the car. So again, just keep that in mind. And again, I'll make this a setup. And if you please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to help support the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and sharing it and all those things. It really helps with all the YouTube stuff. And also, of course, I'll leave a link to this setup in the description. And I sure hope you enjoyed the video, and I sure hope you come back and visit again. Y'all take care. See ya.